Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to the Adventure Incorporated podcast. I am your dungeon master, Anthony Reed. This is episode 137 and the 9th episode of the Gorm story arc. This episode is brought to you by Jeff and patrons like them. Head on over to patreon.com/adventureinc. This month we are still looking to get to 25 patrons. If we do, we will do a live tavern night next month in December to celebrate. Everyone will be welcome to join the live recording, but only the patrons will get the recorded episode. So make sure you are a patron so that we can make that happen. This week on Wednesday, I'll be releasing a special patron-only episode that we did a few months back as a little example of what you can expect if you become a patron at the $5 level. Last week we did the short story, so you can see sort of what we do each month for the $3 level. We're doing just some little special stuff just to let you know what it's like, so that maybe if you enjoy the value that we're putting into it, you can become a patron, give us a little of that value back. Make sure you check Facebook, Twitter, all of other social media just to see when those things go live. That's all this week. Let's get started. Nobles and farmers, knights and wenches, gather round to hear a tale of excitement and mystery. Brave adventurers facing grave dangers. Keth, the fighter monk.
Guys, there's a lot of puppy in this cloak. I needed to say it.
What?
Jennuvera, the sorcerer. Jennuvera, you're sitting there next to Clyde, who just goes, "What the fuck?"
I hold up my hand for a high five.
Gebetto, the rogue. As soon as they see the five of you, their expression hardens.
Well, we'll see you later. And Gebetto just turns.
Gillick, the paladin warlock.
But you're dying again, right? Like, you die, then you get a spirit.
And you're nothing.
And then
you become nothing.
And then you're nothing. That sounds like bullshit. Let's go kill the Death Lord.
And Asher, the druid barbarian. Yeah, but I'm asking specifically why Jeff is important to Asher.
It's just the first name. You know what? I don't have to justify this.
Let us recall what happened when we last left our heroes. But I warn you, this will be dangerous, and it will be difficult. And if you stray too far from what Gorm did in these memories, your mind will shatter. The visions begin. This appears to be just an army from Carapath, but there is a difference to this army. They are wielding weapons like you have never seen before. They are powerful, enchanted weapons. The sort of blue swirling portal opens and Thorval quickly passes through and you pass through.
I
go
want
ahead.
to do a thing.
Yep.
As he tries to pass through, he grabs him by the neck with his claw. He said, "You are too weak," and throws him back out the portal.
Prepare yourselves, for this is the tale of Adventure Incorporated. All right, let's get started. So, Jennuvera, you open your eyes, and you are sitting in the grounds of Adventure Incorporated. Around you is the compound, the same compound that you're familiar with. The tower, the master's hall, the barracks, and the wall all around. You are in a long, white, flowing robe, and it's stained with blood, but you don't think it's your blood. It's dark, and it's quiet. And everything around you is calm.
Okay. I look around.
Yeah, you sort of glance around here a little bit, and first of all, you're not supposed to be anywhere near Adventure Incorporated, so that's its own issue. But
Really?
Right, you were just in the desert.
Oh, but I knew I was going into a memory.
Sure. So, but around here, even in this place, something is just slightly off. And go ahead and make for me a perception check. Jennuvera's perception.
Oh boy, I didn't even get that shit out. Give me a mo. Oh, it's a natural 20, so it's fine. I don't even need to do the math.
There is a feeling here. A feeling. You glance around this place. You can't really tell what it is that tips you off, but you just have a sense, like sort of deep within you, that this Adventure Incorporated is not your Adventure Incorporated, but it is an Adventure Incorporated you have seen before.
Ooh, okay. Can I look around for any indication of date? So, like, whether it's going into the... am I inside the compound or outside the compound?
You are. You're inside the walls of the compound.
Okay. I'm going to go to Elatrix's office.
Okay. Yeah, you head over to the Master's Hall, and the door is locked. And you realize you're not carrying anything. You just have your robes.
Okay.
And as you stand near the door, Asher steps through the door. Not opening it, like physically passes through the door into the
Asher,
courtyard.
did you die again?
Shh. I put my finger air over my mouth, and I was like, I'm not here. Pretend I'm not here. And no, I'm fine.
Oh. Okay.
I shared a memory with Gillick, and now I'm sharing this memory with you.
Oh.
So I can only, you are in control of, or you are inhabiting what Gorm does. I can only help. I didn't expect to walk through a door, but I was curious, and here I am.
Okay. I just was afraid, because the last time you were a ghost, you were dead.
I get it.
So what did you do?
Well, Gillick said that before him was, or before my memory, the kingdoms were together and, like, held back Gorm. And then when I was in the memory, Gorm and his other dragon friend were fighting Elatrix as the Coatl. I, like, poofed in.
What?
I poofed in when he was being fought by the Coatl. And so they retreated and, like, to help his friend who was, like, severely wounded. But while he was, like, healing, Gorm went to different kingdoms to sow seeds of doubt in all of them. Went to Bradmont to put it against Emberfall, and then also...
Wait, when you... hold on. When you say... When you were in his memory, Gorm sowed seeds of doubt, you mean you sowed seeds of doubt? Well,
Gorm did. Yeah.
Like, that was Gorm's... you were in Gorm's memory doing that thing?
Yep. And he went to Bradmont and gave a very impassioned speech about how he weeps for Bradmont's independence and how the people of Emberfall
But it was
aren't
you,
paying
right?
I guess.
So you gave speeches of...
I don't know. It felt all very strange. It felt like it just came from its own place.
Huh.
Basically, as far as I understand it, Asher, was not doing anything, but Asher, was experiencing what already happened, not knowing what had already happened.
Okay.
And everything was good.
Doesn't sound very good.
Of how I
sounds
didn't, well,
very
I didn't influence
bad.
It. You know what I mean. Either way, I think the big thing is Gorm is the reason the kingdoms fell apart.
Okay, so I'm expecting right now for Gorm to, like, inhabit my mind.
You could... I did that a couple of times to kind of figure out what to do next. But I will say, the last thing I was doing before we got ambushed by an army of crazy people is he killed his friend, and then also was on his way to Adventure Inc.'s grounds to perform the ritual to awake the sleeping one.
Okay, well, that's where we are.
Right.
So he killed his dragon friend?
He killed his dragon friend.
Okay.
It felt like that's a thing he would do, and then I did it, and I was like, well, I guess nothing's shaking, so I was right.
Oh boy.
That's basically how I guided it. Like,
okay.
it felt very on brand.
So what ritual is he going to perform?
The one to wake up the Hayrix. And you should probably just know it. Like, you probably don't know it, but if you try to know it, you will know it.
Jennuvera closes her eyes and tries to know it.
Yeah, and you feel sort of this flash of this memory well up in Gorm. And he was told this ritual by his mentor. And so you now sort of get the same sense of this ritual of drawing the energy from the 8 schools of magic, focusing it into this channel point and pushing it down into the depths of the earth to revitalize the sleeping dragon. Hayrix was once the god of magic, and so it is the ritual's intent to return the power of magic to him and fuel him up again to allow him to awaken.
Oh. Okay. But, like, I shouldn't do that, right?
But if you don't... Well, I don't think it works that way. We're not doing anything. We're just experiencing what has already happened.
But it feels like if I do that, I do that. Like, if it feels
But if you don't... But remember, if you don't do that, the memory may fail and we may all die.
Yeah, but... What if I, like, do it bad? Or what if I do it slow and buy us some time? Like, what if I intend to do that and then, like, accidentally screw it up?
Well,
I just feel like maybe I do, like, maybe Gorm is dumb. Like, maybe he would, maybe, we don't know. I've never met, like, our universe Gorm, so maybe he,
I have met our universe Gorm, and he's,
oh, no, I meant
fairly cruel.
No, like, wait, you met yourself?
I met universe Gorm. I met our Gorm.
Right, we all did. I was mistaken. I meant other universe Gorm.
Right.
He's the one.
Right.
Yeah, and
Jennuvera,
Asher...
like, looks up, like...
I actually did meet the real Gorm, the Gorm we're fighting, because when we poofed, like, in the first ley line, I poofed to Gorm.
Oh, right.
And he almost killed me.
So other universe. Okay.
So, Gorm 2.
Yeah, Gorm. Evil Gorm.
Gorm 2 is bad Gorm, and Gorm 1 is unclear.
Yeah. Cool. So, all right. I would feel bad doing this ritual and awakening Hayrix.
Well,
So let's try to come up with a way to do that without doing that. And Jennuvera gives a thumbs up.
That's fine. I give her, like, a weird half-hearted thumbs up. Like, that's fine. But remember, these are events of the past. These things have already happened. We can't influence them. These aren't memories that are currently being created.
Okay. All right.
So if you fuck it up, you might fuck up the memory.
Oh, boy. Don't.
That's what I was trying to get
She
at.
writes in her journal, don't fuck up.
You don't have your journal.
You're like,
She searches
I
her
see
pocket
that,
for
like-
her journal.
And you're just in this...
I don't have
You're
my-
in this white robe that has nothing in it. You are without items. You have no journal, no nothing.
Well, I hope nobody asks me what happens here.
I'm sure it'll be fine. The other thing you can do is, like how you tried to just recall from your memory, you can actually sort of do that again to get kind of a clue about what he did do next.
Okay. Jennuvera closes her eyes and tries that.
Roll a perception check at plus 17.
Right. Yeah, no, that was my face too.
Okay, 7, whatever 17 plus 17 is.
17 squared,
I
baby.
think it passes. I can't be sure.
So with a 34...
You see God.
yeah, so you start to see flashes in your mind. you see flashes of the 8 ley lines, and then you see flashes of the goblins, and flashes of the machines that you have seen the goblins build in previous attempts. You see flashes of the kingdoms, each of the kings. You see the influence that you have laid upon these kings in previous attempts to sort of force the kingdoms apart. Like calling to the lizard folk and the gnolls, turning Bradmont against some of the other kingdoms, speaking to Asher. I think you also went to the king of Verena. Is that right?
No, I sent the Bisu brothers to assassinate
That's
him.
right. You sent the Bisus to assassinate the king of Verena. So,
and then blamed it on Bradmont.
That's right. So,
Asher, can you
I didn't
remind
do
me
this.
when we
This
get
is
back
a
to like
memory.
be worried about you?
This is not.
Like
I'm just
because I don't
living-
have my journal, so I can't write it down. But please, when we get back, say, "Hey, Jennuvera, you wanted me to remind you that you're worried about me."
Okay.
Okay.
so
I want you to care about me, so I will do this.
So you see flashes of that as well. Interspersed with all of this, you keep seeing flashes of Elatrix and the Quaddle. But finally, the last flash you see, and the thing that sort of you feel is most important to Gorm to find an answer to, you see a small army, the army of Carapath, clad in, looks like highly, sort of high-grade magic items, weapons, and armor, as well as sort of outfitted with super powerful potions at the hands of Iron Shaper and Adanan. That is sort of the last time that he attempted to do this process. That's what thwarted their plans. So in this is what he needs to try and solve. You also sort of get the sense that in each of these times he has set himself up with an escape plan, and that escape plan is to find a similar world to escape to.
Okay. Cool. So, okay. All right. I'm going to go find Iron Shaper.
Okay. So you sort of decide to go and find Iron Shaper. And there's sort of this like, there's almost this pull to the reality around you. Like the memory is sort of sloughing away and a new one is taking its place. And as it sort of drags, you feel like you are embodying, you're embodying Gorm in his draconic form. He is in the sky, flying high above Bradmont. And you get the sense that he's put a lot of his plans already into motion. He's already contracted the goblins to start building the machines. He's contracted the lizard folks and the gnolls to start attacking in the north. And he's started to plant some of his seeds of doubt, but there's still a lot that needs to be done. But now he's looking for Iron Shaper. So as you travel west out of Bradmont toward the edges of Verena, you have sort of you get the sense that Gorm has been sort of looking for the best source of weapons and armor in the area, and this is where he has been pointed. So you sort of lower yourself down to the ground in a small village on the outskirts of Verena.
Okay. I walk into town.
As you walk into the center of town...
I swoop into my human form.
Okay, yeah, so in your... that's probably a good idea.
Just a dragon.
In your human form, you walk toward the center of this very small outskirt on Verena. It's as the edges of Verena sort of transition into the other kingdoms, they sort of have these small outskirt villages. And this one is, not too big. There are people sort of traveling the road, heading in deeper into Verena. But for the most part, this is just a small... homes, mostly homes and a couple of small businesses. One of which is Iron Shaper's smithy. But his smithy sort of faces the center of town, the town square, and there's a lot of bustle going on there.
Hey.
You're just shouting?
Everyone. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Hey, everyone put down your stuff.
Everyone sort of turns to look to
She
you.
looks at Asher and gives like a little like side thumbs up, like, I'm doing good.
Asher shrugs.
Okay.
You hear someone say, Who are you? Why are we putting down our things?
'Cause I need to talk to someone and I don't, and just because.
Was it
'Cause I
drunk history?
said so.
They sort of look around at
She's
each other a
trying to
little
be
bit.
mean. She's trying to be assertive.
They look around at each other and they sort of one of the sort of burly looking guys who's carrying a box or whatever sets down his box and he starts to walk towards you. He says, "What can we help you with?"
I need to find Iron Shaper.
Okay. You hear a voice from the other side of the square say, "Sir, step away from that creature." You see a small gnome, sort of dressed in adventuring gear, standing with a group behind him, a half-orc who looks like sort of clad in leather, a half-elf. A half-elf in like sort of furs and leather behind him. Behind them, beside them, you see a dwarf in heavy armor carrying a warhammer, and behind them you see a dragonborn female sorcerer, sort of collecting herself for the battle. That they are sort of pointing at you across the square, and you hear the small gnome say, "Everybody clear the square! We're gonna need some space."
I look at me and I think, I look pretty damn cool. But I go to put my hands up and then I think that's not a very Gorm thing to do, so I put my hands on my hips. Because that's a sign of aggression.
Gebetto says, "We've been tracking your movements, creature, and we're not going to let you take Iron Shaper out of here."
I turn back into a dragon.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I would have suggested. Yep.
You sort of feel this strength well up inside of you. You don't change at all. You're still just Jennuvera, but you feel like you have access to all of this strength and power of the draconic form of Gorm. And you see sort of, for a second, you see a flash of fear in their eyes. As you sort of like you transform, you see the many pennies sort of like they were not expecting that.
I was also not expecting this.
But Gillick says, "Okay, creature, we're gonna take you anyway. Let's go."
Okay, my name's Gorm, so we can stop with the creature. Let's all be respectful. I know we all have better manners than that.
Sassy Gorm.
Asher says, "Yeah, we don't care about your feelings."
I'm glad I'm Ben Shapiro in this version.
I look down at Asher.
That's not this. This reality sucks. Okay, this one sucks.
Wait, are we not in our reality? Wait, I'm confused.
Well, I assume not. I don't remember
what
this
if we're
happening.
in our future? What if
Wait,
these are future memories?
These are the past. Oh yeah.
Jennuvera says, "What did she just say?" Or what did he just say?
Yeah, don't talk to me. They don't see me, by the way.
Oh, well, that would have been helpful information. You're right. You walked
Keth
through a door.
scratches
That's
his
on
head
me.
confused. You get the sense that maybe Keth hasn't been paying attention the whole time. Okay. Gebetto says, "Ready, everyone? Let's go!" And they start charging towards you. Roll initiative.
Oh, no.
Sorry, Jennuvera.
Roll initiative at +0.
9.
Really? Why doesn't he have he has a +17 perception? Really, not a min-maxer, Gorm, for sure.
Let's see here.
I forgot
Hey,
to tell you that. I'm so sorry.
Can I do a... Oh, boy. Okay. I guess I have to wait my turn.
Okay. So the
Oh,
first...
but I know.
What?
Okay, I know what do I see Iron Shaper in the...
You don't see anyone that looks like Iron Shaper in the... not in this area. He might be in one of the buildings, but you don't see anyone right here.
Okay, so I whisper, Asher, go find Iron Shaper and stand in front of the building that he's in. You can walk through doors. Do it fast. I don't want to hurt us, and I also kind of don't want us to hurt me, because I'm pretty sure I'll die.
Well, okay.
Okay, yay.
And just be Gorm. Inhabit Gorm.
I am.
Method act
No,
Gorm.
I am.
Don't...
No, you don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna capture him.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Now you know what I'm gonna do.
Okay, you're welcome. What?
Okay.
And then I start searching for him.
Okay, yeah. So you sort of head off to do that. Jennuvera is the first to act. Not you, Jennuvera. That Jennuvera.
No, boy, of course
Jennuvera
she is.
2.
You see as she tries to fire off a chromatic orb.
Tries?
Well, yeah, she might not hit you.
Well, if it were me, then she would.
What level are we?
Because right.
Well, I don't know. What do our weapons look like?
The weapons...
Oh, wait, no, that's this.
Right, the weapons are unimpressive. They are basic, average-looking weapons. There's nothing special about the weapons that they're wielding.
Ooh.
Right, that's why Iron Shaper said he only did it for this reality. Or because he got, remember?
I know, I'm still confused that we're not in our reality, because I just but now I get it.
Yeah, because this is,
a previous reality.
Yep.
Okay, so Jennuvera fires off a ball of cold at you. Actually, no, a ball of acid. We'll just do acid. Jennuvera fires a ball of acid.
Yeah, stay on brand, Anthony.
Sorry.
When have I done
I know,
cold
I'm on board.
orb?
It's fine.
You have to inhabit her memory.
Right. So you fire. She fires off a ball of acid that flies towards you, and it does manage to hit you. It sort of catches you on the side. It deals 12 damage of your 481 hit points.
Me as Gorm says, "Ha! That didn't even hurt a little bit. You're so weak. I bet you can't even throw a decent fireball."
This is drunk history.
She's
Keth.
trying. She's
Keth
trying to
comes-
be antagonistic.
I'm not there. That's Rob.
Yeah.
That's not Asher.
Keth goes charging forward towards you. He also tries to make 2 attacks. He comes up with a sword. So actually just 1 attack. He just comes up with his sword. He has a shield strapped to his arm. He also hits for 6 damage.
Whatever. I laugh.
Okay, it's your turn.
Oh no. I wait for Asher to tell me. No, I don't. I wouldn't. Gorm wouldn't. Oh no.
Gorm would go.
Gorm
bananas.
would. Oh boy. Gorm has all divination spells.
He has
Or-
access to many spells. He has a lot of
Okay.
divination, but he is also strong in evocation. He has his breath weapon. He has his claws, his teeth, his tail. if you sort of give me sort of what you want to do, I can sort of translate into what you can do.
Okay. I am. So can I do locate object on Iron Shaper?
That's a locate person spell, right?
Yeah, you'd have to.
I
think
didn't-
it's a different spell.
Oh. Well.
Which is
locate
divination.
creature. Is that fine? Does that work? Or is person an entirely different one? I assume he.
I don't know.
Locate creature 5e. We'll look it up real quick.
Locate object, creature.
Describe or name a creature familiar to you.
Yes.
So Gorm is not super familiar with him, so it would
Okay.
be difficult for Gorm to do that.
All right. So I'm gonna. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to use my breath weapon, which is.
Oh, it's a line of lightning.
Great. I'm going to use my breath weapon to create to slash lightning as a wall between me and the many pennies.
So it's a line, so it goes from your mouth straight out. And it just cracks lightning once, and that's what it does.
Okay. How much damage would a claw attack? This is all stuff Gorm would know, so I assume this is all like stuff that I would be able to calculate very quickly in my brain.
Well, damage isn't really a thing. You feel like these pathetic heroes in front of you are enough that you could easily destroy their forms with 1 or 2 swipes.
And I know that he did. I know that he killed them. And oh my god, this is the worst. This is Anthony. You are a monster. I
love this.
I hate this so much. I'm so stressed and I'm sweating.
Just method act, Jennuvera.
I am. I am method acting as Jennuvera.
Oh, that's not what I meant, but okay.
I know it's not. Do I see, has Asher come back out of the house yet?
No. Nothing, no time has passed. It's still just the beginning of your turn.
Okay, you know what Gorm does? He bats the roofs off of all the houses with his claws. So he just knocks them to the ground, but basically take like with toys, like you could just take the houses off so he can.
So he's just gonna rear back and smash a bunch of buildings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make an
feels
attack.
aggressive enough. I want to be vicious. 14.
Okay. Yeah, you sort of reach and smash off a side of a building. It just tears a huge chunk, the roof and a big chunk of the wall, and that slams away, and you reach back and smash another one, and it starts to sort of collapse in a little bit. Yeah. What's your next action?
Just, start with the character you hate the most. Just look at me and just zap me.
No, I can't.
Just
I would
feel it.
never
Feel the-
be able to live with myself if I knew I had killed one of us, even though,
It's a memory.
it feels very real. Okay, so I do a thing where I take my claws and I scoop the many pennies up and toss them. Whereas so I'm doing it really violently, but I really just scoop them and pop them up a little bit into the air so they'll fall down, but they won't die from it.
Okay.
So I get them out of the way so they can stop attacking me. And I can find
just
Iron Shaper.
Just Keth is right next to you. The others are across the courtyard, which is a small movement to make. But what like, are you going to try to scoop up Keth as well? Or, like, how are you going to try to do this?
Yeah, scoop them all up.
Okay. Make a
Anthony's
strength.
going to make me kill all of us.
Make a strength roll. +9.
28.
Okay. Yeah, you sort of run through, you scoop all of them up, and you sort of toss them into the air. Sort of at that last moment before you release, there's a shaking around you a little bit. You toss them up, and they sort of all slump to the ground, and you watch as they sort of like, they all sort of tumble to the ground and are knocked prone. You hear Gebetto say, "We will not give up!" And he pulls himself up onto his knees, up onto his feet. He pulls a blade and starts to charge towards you. He slips under your leg, and you sort of lose track of him for a moment. And then Gillick stands. He sort of gets himself up, sets his shield, pulls his weapon, and prepares himself to like sort of take the brunt of whatever comes next. And Asher transforms into a hyena.
Of course.
And then charges forward. He sort of tries to like swipe at you and take a bite. But it's not enough to pierce your dragon hide.
Okay.
Then Jennuvera sort of gets to her feet. She fires off another chromatic orb.
Okay.
This one like hits you and just sort of absorbs into your skin. Like it didn't penetrate. Keth charges forward as well with his blade drawn. He hits for 6 damage.
Okay. And it's my turn again?
Yep.
Okay. I don't see Asher yet.
Asher, you went into one building. Not there. You went into another building. Also not that one.
Okay. I open my mouth and slice a bolt of lightning right into Jennuvera.
Okay. The bolt goes through Gillick and Jennuvera.
What the fuck? Anthony?
Gillick jumps in the way. That's what he what he does. He jumps in the way. Both of them must succeed at a dexterity saving throw.
Of?
23. They both fail and take 88 damage. Both are instantly killed as the blast of lightning tears through them.
All I can say is, you monster.
You see Keth just yells like, "No!" As the blast of lightning rips through both of them. It's your second action.
I tear down a couple other houses.
Okay, yeah. I'm not even going to make you roll. You attack some buildings, and they start to sort of crumble around you. It is now Gebetto's turn, who strikes at you the back of your leg from underneath and behind you. He hits for 7 damage. That was Asher. Asher hits for 8 damage.
Right. Hell yeah.
And Keth misses.
We are low level in this.
Oh, it's my turn. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just have to know my turn. That's fine.
Sorry. It's your turn.
No, I was looking at a list of spells and.
Okay, it's your turn.
Okay, no Asher yet.
Asher, you go into one building. You go into another. You do find Iron Shaper. He's staring out the door into the courtyard, watching as this occurs.
I just point I kind of get out into the street and I just point, try and make eye contact with old Gorm boyo and just point. And I point some more. I keep pointing.
So you do see him inside, just outside the what is presumably Gorm's, Iron Shaper's house, pointing at people sort of watching inside the building.
Okay. I open my portal to a new world. No, wait, no. I don't want to do that. It doesn't happen right after this. Never mind.
You tell me.
Yeah, but I wish you had let me believe that it was all still canon.
Well, okay,
honestly,
some things are. The things you know are canon are canon. I'm talking about the rest of it. The way things happen isn't canon, but the things you know that are canon are canon.
Oh.
So, the things you know about this world still happen in this memory.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes it a lot easier.
Sorry if I wasn't clear about that.
Swoop up the rest of them, then. And I say I'm sorry in my head while I'm doing it. So I close my eyes and say I'm sorry to my brain and streak a bolt of lightning at the rest of the three.
Yeah, you sort of you pull yourself back a little bit so that you sort of get a nice line on them. It happens to go through a building, but who cares about that? And you let out a 120-foot bolt of lightning. All three of them fail, and they also take upwards of 90 damage, instantly vaporizing them in the street. You just hear screams of people as they run around, buildings collapsing around them. They are horrified at the sight of you just sort of tearing through this town. One person steps sort of into the square. His mouth is agape. It's a dwarf, and he just looks horrified. But you know that this is Iron Shaper.
I scoop him up in my hand, and I'm going to fly to the caves.
Okay.
The first caves we went to.
Sure. You fly off to the caves, and you sort of you pick him up and you take him there. There's another of those tearing of that wiping feeling, and then you're sort of
a star wipe.
Yeah, it's a star wipe. You're in Gorm's human form. You are standing next to a cage with Iron Shaper inside of it. In the caves.
Okay.
He says, "What do you want, monster?"
I want you to build me weapons.
I will never, ever build weapons for you.
Yes, you will.
I will build weapons that will rend your flesh, that will tear you from the sky. I will build weapons that will kill you.
All right.
Whoa.
Jennuvera puts her mean voice back on. You'll do it because I said so. And then throws a bolt of lightning at the wall.
You'll have to do worse than that to me, creature. I will never work for you.
You know, maybe if someone was just nice to Gorm and called him by his name, then we wouldn't be having this issue. He might just be a nicer dragon all around if someone stopped calling him creature and just started addressing him by his proper name. This is an idea Jennuvera writes in her brain journal. Okay. But anyway, what Jennuvera, as Gorm really says, is yells a lot and then like punches something.
Okay. You watch as Iron Shaper just turns his back on you and sits down in the cage.
Okay. I go out to the caves to see how the goblins are doing.
Yeah, at this point, the Slammy Hammer is essentially completed. A goblin sort of runs up to you and it says, "Master, we will be done within the week, and you can begin your ritual. This is the last of the Slammy Hammers that needs to be completed."
Hey, goblin, what's your name?
Poxen.
Poxen, do it faster.
Okay. He starts working. He nods, and they just like start working faster. Like dangerously fast, like going to get an OSHA reprimand fast.
Gorm doesn't give a shit about OSHA, but he does give a shit about manners.
Load-bearing goblins.
Okay. What are you going to do now? Or do you want to, or do you want to move forward to beginning the ritual? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. You sort of feel that sort of passage of time again, and now you are. Some time has passed. Wait, what the hell? Oh, some time has passed, and you are in. You're sort of making your way toward Mugmara, because that is where the ritual must take place. It's part of the ritual that you felt from your master, is that is the location. And so you start to move in that direction. You're sort of like flying from Kien to there. And when you sort of get close, you see that they already have adventurers like prepared to intercept you all around the Adventure Incorporated. Okay.
So I am to gather that the ritual has to happen at Adventure Incorporated.
As far as Gorm knows, yes. Everywhere, it's always happened there for him in that place.
Yeah, does Gorm know why, though? Like, is there anything that I can glean as...
do you remember, Asher?
I believe it's just like the convergence of a lot of ley lines, right? Didn't you say that was like kind of the same reason why we have that weird portal that what's-his-face made? It seemed like this is like the ideal spot because it's like somehow connected to all of the magic. That's kind of what I remember. And if not, well...
That's
what Asher says.
That's what Asher says, and that's what works.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so you said it's the convergent point of a lot of ley lines?
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
until we retcon me saying something else.
Gorm yells out for Elatrix.
Okay, yeah, you shout out for Elatrix. And you see a lot of the soldiers, like the adventurers at Adventure Incorporated, start to prepare themselves, but you don't see, like, Elatrix doesn't step forward.
All right, I fly over them.
Yeah, you sort of do a pass above Adventure Incorporated. You see all of, like, the soldiers down below, like, some of them with archers, with arrows, start to get ready to start firing. And as you sort of look around, go ahead and make a perception check at plus 19.
Plus 17?
17, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, well, 23.
Yeah, 17. Okay. Yeah, you don't spot Elatrix among them.
All right, I cast Find Creature.
The spell instantly fails. For whatever reason, like, and this is, you get the sense this is not the first time Gorm has tried this, but anytime Gorm tries to locate Elatrix, it fails.
Oh. Okay. I cast See Invisibility.
Okay. You sort of you notice there are quite a few adventurers down there who had tried to hide themselves via invisibility. You spot them now. There are a couple sort of hiding up on the top of the tower, looking like they're trying to leap at you when you get close enough.
But still no Elatrix?
Still no Elatrix.
Okay. So I menacingly cast a bolt of lightning at the tower. Like I chop the top of the tower off with my lightning.
Yeah, you shoot a blast of lightning, you smash into the tower, it starts to, like, collapse in, there's a huge hole in the ceiling, huge rock, like, all the guys fall off, they're all dead. A huge rock falls from it and smashes into the Master's wing as well, putting a large hole in the ground, in the ceiling of the tower on the Master's wing as well. You're just, like, sort of decimating the space a little bit. The archers begin to fire, but they're sort of at a distance that it doesn't really make a big difference. But you do need to go down to start preparing the ritual.
All right, I go down to where I know I need to go.
All right, yeah, you sort of dive bomb into it. You smash back a bunch of people with your wings as you slam down into the ground. I think probably these adventurers sort of make attacks at you, but you easily just smash all of them away and begin to prepare the ritual space. You feel the energies coalescing as you start to draw out the symbol on the ground with your claw. The intricate, large pattern that draws the 8 energies together and channels them down into the ground.
Can you describe that symbol to me?
Yeah, it's like interwoven concentric circles with lines that sort of connect these 8 points. Each of the 8 points use the symbols of magic that you have seen before, the ones connected to the ley lines. Each of them are a symbol for the schools of magic. So these concentric rings and circles are like a pretty complex pattern that has to be laid a specific way with all these lines and shapes. It's hard to describe except that ultimately you wind up with a big circle with 8 small circles around the outside, each with a symbol in them, and a 9th circle up above. You begin to channel the energy required, focusing power from these 8 ley lines and pushing it down into this symbol on the ground. As you do that, things go pretty... You've killed like all the adventurers here, or those who haven't run away at least. And things are going pretty smoothly when you hear a voice come from the wood line just outside the gates. Dragon! It's a voice you're now familiar with. Elatrix.
Gotcha, sucker.
I have gathered the tools to stop you.
Okay. Come at me.
I will not be coming at you, but your time has ended. And he throws open the double doors to the compound, and you see, as standing with him, is Patrick Darkheart.
Shut the fuck up.
And so, and Elatrix says, Patrick, are you sure? Patrick nods, and Elatrix hands him the chalice. Patrick drinks something from the chalice. Something you can't quite see, but it almost looks like it has a golden glow to it. And then Elatrix takes the dagger and plunges it into Patrick.
Whoa!
There's this release of energy as Patrick drops to his knees. There's sort of this rush of sound. And then a different sound altogether is heard in the air. Like the beating of wings. Hundreds of pairs of wings. As the dragons converge on your location. You see them coming from all around.
Oh, that's this reality.
The dragons drop in. And Elatrix just sort of steps back. As the largest of the dragons, a great golden dragon drops down in front of you.
Gorm flies away back to his cave. He has one important thing that he needs to grab before he leaves.
Okay, so you're just going to immediately bail?
Yes.
Okay.
Because he's protecting I'm justifying this choice.
No, I'm on.
Not
I'm
that
on
I
board.
don't want to fight a bunch of dragons, but I think it's more important to go
talk
grab
to
Iron
them.
Shaper.
Perfect. Fine. So,
I
they
guess
land.
I can talk to them.
They land. You bail. Like, Gorm just takes off instantly. And you hear the gold dragon's voice just rumble. Gorm, Tintreach, stop!
No, I won't do what you say, even though you asked real nicely.
And so he says, men, attack! And the dragons all just, like, take off after you. You're just, like, pounding with as much speed as you can muster. A few white dragons sort of pass almost past you, but they, like, sort of get up alongside of you. They're nipping at you a little bit, but you bat them away.
You also can make portals for what it's worth if it's helpful.
Yeah,
Cool,
Asher's just
shoot
floating
lightning
along
back at
alongside you.
I'm just like weirdly like
Perfect. I shoot lightning at the closest dragon and then create a portal to my cave.
Okay, yeah, you blast him with lightning. It knocks the white dragon into another white dragon. They careen to the ground. You open your portal and slam through it, and sort of like skid into the cave in Kien, where Iron Shaper is in the cage. And then you that portal closes behind you, but you still hear their wings. They are coming.
Okay, hey, we gotta go.
I'm not going anywhere with you, creature.
Well, all right, cool it. I snatch him up.
Okay.
And I do whatever ritual I need to do to...
Yeah, you tear open a space in front of you into the pathway to divination, and you pass through, and you feel that twisting, the squeezing, the pulling as you pass through into one of the spheres of magic. It's that sort of that whirling and the sound and the light of blue, and then there's a flash, and you are in these tunnels of divination, just divination energy blasting past you like when you traveled to divination before, and then everything goes black. Hey adventurers, DM Anthony here again. I just want to remind you that there are lots of ways to support the show. Head on over to patreon.com/adventureinc. Tell your friends about the show. Rate and review us on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. Links and more can be found at adventureinc.podbean.com. Thanks everyone, we'll see you next week.